Hi everyone. I am going to teach you 12 questions today from Mathematics Form 1 ya. 12 soalan. Cikgu akan ajar 12 soalan ni daripada Matematik tingkatan 1 bab 1 nombor nisbah, right? Rational numbers. Okay, so this kind of questions usually students will use calculator to calculate, but my advice is don't use your calculator, right? Because when you use your calculator you will waste a lot of time in exam. So try to do all these kind of simple questions without using a calculator. If you at all you are using a calculator, use it at the end only to check your answers whether they are correct or wrong. Okay, so cikgu nasihatkan untuk soalan-soalan yang senang begini tak perlulah gunakan calculator. Guna calculator pada akhir soalan lepas dah selesai, hanya untuk check sahaja sama ada jawapan kamu betul atau salah. Sebab setiap kali kamu guna calculator buang masa ya. Untuk exam matematik especially memang tak cukup masa nak selesaikan semua soalan. So cubalah cari mana tempat ni kamu boleh jimatkan masa, right? Try to find where you can save time. So this section is one of the sections where you can actually save time. So I'm going to teach you how to do this 12 questions, right? So let's start with number 1. Now this question is -5 plus 3. Okay, so there are two ways to look at the questions. We have two things that you need to know. One is like symbols and one more is unlike symbols. Like bermakna simbol dia sama, bermakna dua-dua negatif atau dua-dua positif. Unlike means tak sama. Okay, tak sama bermakna satu positif, satu negatif. So whenever you see like symbols, that means the numbers you must add them up. If you see unlike symbols, that means the numbers kena tolak, nombor dia kena tolak. So I'm going to show you this method first. So for example here you can see one is a negative, one is a positive. Satu tolak, satu tambah, atau satu negatif, satu positif. Betul tak? Simbol dia tak sama. So bila simbol tak sama, what do you do with the numbers? The 5 and the 3, you have to minus. 5 minus 3 equals to so 5 tolak 3 sama dengan 2 kan. Okay, sekarang dia punya simbol kat hadapan mesti ikut digit yang besar. 5 lebih besar daripada 3, so 5 tu negatif kan. So that means jawapan kamu pun mesti negatif. That's how you get -2. Okay, so here also same thing. You can see now the symbols both are also minus or both are negative kan, dua-dua negatif. So simbol dia simbol sama. Bila simbol sama, apa kena buat dengan nombor dia? 7 dengan 7 ni tambahkan. So 7 tambah 7 apa jawapan dia? 7 plus 7 is 14, correct? So 14. Now you look at the symbols. The symbol is negative, right? Yang ni dua-dua pun sama besar. Dua-dua pun negatif, jadi simbol dia pun sama, negatif juga. Okay, minus. Alright, let me show you another technique. Okay, another technique that I normally teach my students is the owing method. Cara hutang. Okay, owing method. To owe money atau untuk hutang wang. Okay, so negative means you're owing money, kamu hutang wang. Positive means money in your pocket or money that you have with you. Okay, so the concept is -12 ni bermakna kamu hutang RM12. Okay, and then positive 8 bermakna dalam poket ada RM8. So if kalau kamu hutang orang RM12, dalam poket ada RM8, kenalah bayar balik. Betul tak? So you have this -12 means you're owing someone RM12. So if you're owing someone RM12, but positive 8 is RM8 in your pocket. So if you have money in your pocket, you have to pay them back what you can, right? So lepas dah bayar RM8 masih berhutang. Berhutang berapa? You are still owing the person after you pay back. You are still owing the person RM4. Masih hutang RM4. Okay, same thing here. -3 bermakna hutang RM3. Positif 7 bermakna dalam poket ada RM7. So kalau ada duit mesti bayar balik hutang. So if you bayar balik hutang, you still have berapa ringgit? RM4. RM4 ni dalam poket, betul? So sebab dia dalam poket, so positif, right? So the RM4 is in your pocket, so that is a positive value. Let's start with this one. Now this one is 3 numbers, right? So for these 3 numbers, what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. -3 and -10. Okay, so 3 minus 10, what we're going to do? The 3 is a positive 3. Kalau tak ada simbol di hadapan, bermakna Kalau tak ada simbol di hadapan, bermakna simbol tu apa? Positive, right? If there's no symbol, that means it's a positive 3. So positive 3 means ada dalam poket RM3. Tapi kamu ada hutang orang RM10. You are owing somebody RM10. So you pay back what you can first. After paying back what you can, you still have RM7 that you owe the person. So what do you do with the positive 4 ni? What do you do? Rewrite back again. Tulis balik semula positive 4. Tulis balik semula. And then do the same thing again. Now you're owing the person RM7. You earned another RM4 in your pocket. So use that and pay back the person what you can. After paying back the person, you are still owing the person RM3. Belum habis lagi lah, masih hutang. Okay. Alright. Now let's look at this kind of questions. Now this kind of questions, now I've made it a little bit harder. I've added a bracket. Okay, but it's not that big of a deal. Bracket in mathematics means darab. Okay, brackets means times. So there is a symbol out and inside the bracket, right? You can see there's a symbol outside the bracket and then there's another symbol inside the bracket. So what do you have to do with these two symbols? Both of these symbols kena darab. Sebab dalam matematik kurungan bermakna darab. So what am I going to do? This negative 3 ni tulis balik semula. Just rewrite. Okay. Now positive times a negative will always give you a negative. Okay. The concept is like this. Kalau sama, kalau simbol dia sama, for example positive times with another positive. Okay. Atau negatif darab dengan satu lagi negatif. Kalau simbol dia sama, jawapan sentiasa positif bila darab atau bahagi. Unlike symbols, kalau positif darab dengan negatif atau negatif darab dengan positif, right? If you are multiplying different symbols, multiplying or dividing symbols that are unlike, it will always result in a negative value. Okay, akan sentiasa dapat nombor negatif. So right now you can see this one is unlike symbols kan, tak sama. So positif darab negatif mesti dapat negatif. So 5 ni nak buat apa? Turunkan. Okay, the 5 rewrite. So now you can see that this question is similar to question 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It's the same. So you do the same thing back again. So now negative 3, negative 5. Like symbols. What do you do with like symbols? You add up the numbers, right? So 3 tambah dengan 5 dapat apa? 8. So negative 8 jawapan dia. Or you are owing someone RM3 and then you owe the person another RM5. So now in total you are owing the person RM8. Okay, let's look at this one. You see brackets, you have brackets here, you have brackets here, right? Let's look at symbol inside and outside the bracket. There is another section here, inside and outside the bracket got symbol. So what must you do? Kena darab. Bracket means must times. Okay, so now we are going to rewrite. What are we going to rewrite? The 5, the 7, the 8, or kena salin balik semula. So start with the 5, salin balik. Okay, now negative and negative dapat apa? Negative, negative, jawapan dia positive kan? So write here a positive 7. 7 to rewrite. Now the next one, positive times negative. See here, positive times negative. What is the symbol? Minus, negative, right? So letak negative and then the 8 rewrite. Now if you see, this question has become exactly like this question here that we've done just now. So let's do the first two numbers, 5 plus 7. So this one is a simple concept. 5 plus 7 is of course 12. Then minus 8, tulis balik semula, right? Rewrite. So 12 minus 8, this is simple subtraction. So the answer is 4. Okay, let's look at this one. Bracket, outside and inside the bracket got symbols. Outside and inside the bracket got symbols. So what do we do with the symbols? We have to multiply, kena darab. Okay, so yang lain kita salin balik semula. So start with 1. Okay, then positive times negative gives you a negative. So tolak atau negative. 3 tu tulis balik semula. Okay, again positive times negative gives you a negative. So tolak balik. 5 tu tulis semula. Okay, so now 1 minus 3. 1 ni positive 1. Bermakna dalam poket ada RM1. Okay, you owe somebody 3 ringgit. So you are only able to pay 1 ringgit to that person. So you are still owing 2 ringgit. Then minus 5 atau negative 5 tulis balik semula. So tadi dah hutang 2 ringgit, right? You already owed the person 2 ringgit, but now you are owing the person another 5 ringgit. So now in total you are owing the person 7 ringgit. Okay. Now let's look at this one. Now inside the bracket there is nothing for you to do. There's only 4 bracket negative 7. Again, like what I said, bracket is multiplication in maths. That means sekarang positif 4 ni kena darab dengan negatif 7. So we start with the symbol. Ambil symbol dulu. Positif darab negatif dapat apa? Negatif. Okay. And then 4 darab 7 dapat apa? 28. That's all. Okay. Now you have a bracket, but inside the bracket ni ada benda yang kita boleh selesai. We can solve what is inside the bracket, right? So negative 5 plus 3. What is inside the bracket? You do like what you did here, 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 here. Nampak tak soalan ni? Sama. Okay. So negative 5 means owing someone 5 ringgit. Positive 3 means you paid them back 3 already. So what do you have with you now? So solve this. Selesaikan yang ni dulu. So yang lain kena buat apa? Negative 3 tu rewrite. So dalam kurungan sekarang jawapan dia negative 2. Yeah? Right? You are still owing the person 2 ringgit. So now if you see, look at this question. This question now looks like this, right? So what must you do? You must multiply. Right? Start with the symbol. What do? Negative times negative gives you a positive. Tapi positive tak payah tulis. And then 3 times 2 gives you 6. So you write the 6. Next one. Negative 5, negative 5. That means you are owing someone 5 ringgit and then you owe the person another 5 ringgit. So that means you are owing the person in total 10 ringgit. Or you follow this concept, like symbols means you must add the numbers. So 5 plus 5 gives you 10. So this is a negative 10. So 8 kat depan tulis balik semula dalam kurungan negative 10. So sekarang dah sama macam ni kan? Yang ini sama, betul tak? So, when you see the bracket, what must you do with the bracket? You must multiply the number outside the bracket with the number inside the bracket. So, yang ini positif 8. Positif darab negatif dapat apa? Negatif. 8 darab 10, 80. Okay? So, this is number 11. Now, number 12. Okay. So, now number 12. Sama je. Right? It's the same as this, but I have a double question here. Okay, so tak apa, kita buat dulu apa yang ada dalam kurungan, selesai dulu ya. Yang ini dengan ni. Okay, so yang lain semua tulis balik semula. 5 tu tulis balik semula. Sekarang dalam kurungan mesti tulis jawapan. So this is a positive 6. This is a negative 13. So kena tolak, betul tak? So 13 tolak 6 dapat berapa? 13 tolak 6 dapat 7. And then the jawapan mesti negative 7. Kenapa negative 7? Because 13 is bigger and 13 is a positive, is a negative. So the answer must be a negative. Okay, then this one we are not touching yet, we are not using it yet. So we have to rewrite. Okay, rewrite already. Now in the bracket this one, negative 5 plus 9. You are owing someone 5 ringgit. In your pocket, you have with you 9 ringgit. So, pay back what you can, right? After paying back what you can, you still have 4 ringgit in your pocket. So, that's a positive 4. Okay, now this one is exactly like this part, and this part, right? So, you have to solve both sides, here and here. You have to solve them separately. So, we're going to start with the first one. So, now, start with the symbols. Positive times negative gives you a negative. 5 times 7 will give you 35. Okay, now this one also same. Start with the symbol. Negative times positive gives you a negative. 7 times 4 is 28. So now you owe someone 35 ringgit. And then after that you owe the person another 28 ringgit. So dah hutang 2 kali sekarang. So all together you sekarang dah hutang 63 ringgit. Macam tu je, senang. Okay, so make sure you go through this video. I hope this video was useful for you. This is very useful for basic rational number calculation to save time, so you can count quickly without using the calculator. Alright, so see you in the next one.